Hey guys, welcome back. So it's time for little bit of coding again. Don't worry much. Everything will get clear as you are doing more practice. If you are totally new to the Unity, so what we need to do is, as we are working on scripts, I will quickly create a simple folder called as scripts. Okay. And now I will create my first script. So how to create a first script? So I want to keep my project organized, and every good developer should do that. So under a script folder, right click on it, create, and C# script, as simple as that. And I want to name it as a player controller, because I am writing my script for controlling my player, right? So player controller, hit enter. Unity will take some time. Here you can see it is compiling the script. Yeah, so our script is ready. So as we have added box collider, rigid body to our player, we can simply add a script to our player as well. So add component, and if you can search player component, this can access our project panel, and this can detect already there is a player controller already. So this is the one way to attach a script. I will remove it quickly. Again, a second way is dragging and dropping here directly. So yeah, this is the second way. So yeah, I am opening up the player script. I hope you have a setup of the either Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, whichever. Yeah, I trust the authors. So yeah, this is my code editor. So basically, Unity will have by default two methods. One is start and another is update. I just want you guys to read these lines and don't worry about anything else. Like, start is called before the first frame update. That means when we hit play, the start will get called at a very first time, a single call. And update is a thing which get called once per frame. So it is a continuous calling method which gets called every time per second. So if your PC is running 60 frames per second, your update will get called 60 frames per second. So yeah, so that's about it. So here is our first script. So we will quickly add a player moment logic. I am just removing these comments. So for moving this player, we need to access a component of rigid body. So I will tell you how we can access it. So just write public. So we want to access rigid body 2D. So just type it rigid body 2D and just name it similar to that, rigid body something. Okay, I guess it is already inherited member, so I would recommend use something different like rigid body 2D. Okay, so right now you can see we have a component called as rigid body 2D. So after compilation, you can see there is in the inspector, you can see the exact same name that we have declared here, right? Rigid body 2D. And we can drag and drop our rigid body component into this. So as our rigid body component is on our player itself, we will simply drag a player and Unity will take the exact same component that we are asking for. So here we are asking for rigid body 2D. So when we are dragging player game object into this space, Unity is accessing that exact same component. Okay, as simple as that. So we have now we have access. Don't save. Now we have access to the rigid body component, and yeah, cool. Everything is fine. I will quickly hit play and check it. Play testing is very important. Yeah, no errors. So yeah, we will cover the moment very shortly. Hey guys, so we will going to quickly code our player moment. So as for a moment, the most important thing is speed, right? So we will declare here public float speed. So why we are making it public? To basically access it in an inspector. There are different ways to access this float in an inspector, but we are not touching that now. So yeah, simply declare public float speed. So right now I'm just simply add if else statement. So if, and I will explain this statement later, don't worry, get access. So if you can see, if you are writing if input, it is like saying it is auto correcting it, and get access, and just again start the brackets, open and close, and under that give a string as a parameter horizontal. So make sure you are typing this in exact same way, is greater than 0, and just complete it for now. So I will explain it what it exactly is. So input is a class of Unity predefined, and under that there is a get access method which checks for our input. So where is this horizontal? I will quickly show you. So in a file, so our script is getting compiled. So in a file, in a edit, you can see project settings. Here there is an input tab, and here you can see accesses. So right now what this method is doing is it is getting access what we want, and we are passing a horizontal access, right? So here you can see there is one access called as horizontal, right, and one access called as vertical, and there are buttons dedicated to it. So horizontal access will get triggered when we type A or D or left or right, any of these. Negative button, positive button, alternate negative button, alternate positive button. Again, don't worry much about it. If anyone is curious why we are writing this code to detect the input, this is a simple logic in it. I will quickly show it again. In edit, in project settings, there is input where everything is defined, and we are accessing these accesses, and basically we are working on the horizontal and vertical accesses. That's why we are typing input.getAccess under that horizontal, and if this horizontal access is greater than 0, means it is positive, right? Greater than 0 means positive. My bad. Yeah, that means the user have pressed either left button or A button. If it is a positive, user must have pressed right button or a D button, right? So this is the case. Simply for a negative, we can simply just copy paste it quickly. Oops. Simply change the condition as less than 0, and just it will be a negative. Sorry for the pings. Yeah, you can say as else if as well, because these two conditions are totally contradicting. So similar to that, we can write the exact same things for the verticals as well, right? So just change the horizontal to vertical. Control C, Control V. I'm typing it quickly, but yeah, I hope these are pretty much copy and pasting things, right? So this is a positive vertical movement, and this is a negative vertical movement. So as simple as that, you can simply call this as else as well. So no any condition will get trigger in an exact same thing. So if your player is moving horizontal, it will not move. It will not be able to move vertical unless and until you are lifting that button. And the last condition will be else if player is not pressing anything. So that means our access is 0. Any of the access you can. Oops, my bad. Control. So you can just take less than 0. You can change it double equal to 0. And my bad, if I have said any of the axis is 0. If our both of the axis is 0, means either our player is not moving horizontal or vertical, we can simply say it is a 0. Like we can simply say player to stop here. Okay, so for a positive horizontal movement, I will quickly come back to it, I guess. Yeah, this is a condition for our stop. Okay, I will quickly come back to it. So just like horizontal, we have a vertical. The positive button for a vertical is up or a W. The negative button for the vertical is S and down arrow. Down arrow means like the arrow keys. So like you don't need to define these keys. So yeah, basically the accesses will work just fine. So what we need to do is when our player is trying to move right in the right direction, that is a positive direction, positive horizontal direction, we need to take this component that is called as rigid body. We have already accessed this via the inspector. Rigid body 2D dot velocity is equal to new vector 2. Again, don't worry about vector 2 right now, I will explain it. Vector 2, and we need to pass speed and horizontal moment as 0. So what is this basically is, velocity is rigid body 2D has a velocity component, and it is a vector 2 basically, and we are setting the velocity in such a way that we are moving horizontally, right? So vector 2 is nothing but a combination of x and y. So what is horizontal? Horizontal is x. So we want to apply our speed horizontally. That's why we are passing our speed parameter in a x, and we are passing 0 in a y, because we don't want to move vertically, right? So that's why we are passing 0 value to a velocity in a upward direction. So there won't be any vertical movement, because we are saying 0 velocity for a vertical, but we are assigning speed as a horizontal velocity. So don't worry about it, just follow the tutorial. If you have any doubts, I will surely take it. So for a negative movement of horizontal, we will simply give a minus speed value. So suppose our speed is 5 and we want to move in a negative direction, we are tweaking simply a speed value. We are passing the minus value for a negative horizontal movement. Same goes for a vertical, but now in case of vertical, if player wants to move vertically, we need to pass this speed as a second parameter and 0f, that means no horizontal movement and a vertical positive movement, right? Because vertical is greater than 0, that means vertical positive movement. Again, vertical is less than 0, vertical negative movement. So yeah, simple, as simple as that. Take a look at it. I will zoom in a little bit if you want. So yeah, first condition is for horizontal positive. That is, I told you why horizontal and all the stuff. Just make sure you are typing these exact same things. No typos allowed in a string parameters. Otherwise you will get errors. Yeah, then you can simply assign velocity a horizontal value. Basically, you are assigning a horizontal value to a velocity, and you are keeping vertical velocity 0. Same goes for negative horizontal moment, negative speed for a horizontal, and 0 speed for a vertical moment, and vice versa for a vertical. Okay. Yeah, so as we are here, we can quickly test this out. I'm closing this, I'm running into it. Okay, I guess our script is getting compiled. Okay, yeah, we need to assign speed here, right? Just like we assigned rigid body, we need to assign speed. For now, I will keep my speed as 5. I will save the scene and I will play it. Cool. So there is one small issue. We haven't declared anything in a stop. So here you can see we got an entirely different behavior in our game. Whenever, like, I'm not pressing anything, so it is just taking a last detected movement. So if I'm pressing S, that is a downward movement, it will go downward continuously. If I press W, it will go upwards continuously. If I press A, it will go in a left direction, that is negative horizontal direction, continuously. To fix this, we need to simply just copy paste it, and on a both axes we need to set the velocity as 0f. As simple as that. Again, Unity is compiling our code. Now our problem should be fixed, I hope. Yeah, nice. So as long as I am pressing D, then and then only it is getting moved from move towards the right direction. So right now our cube is at left side, and it is continuously moving into the right. Same goes for up, same goes for down. As simple as that. Okay, yeah, so that's about it for a player movement. Thanks a lot. And as you can see, our colliders are perfectly working. So we have added colliders to a wall, so our player can't move move from it. move beyond the walls, right? So, and this is the expected behavior of our game. Yeah. So yeah, like I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.